Now, I do want to ask you how we can keep hope, though, in God's grace when we face challenging seasons, when we really are like up against the wall and we have hard things happen in our lives.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a real question because it's not easy. I would say for those who are watching and listening, it's you have to really focus on like having a heart of gratitude. And so for me, I know what really when I'm going through difficult seasons or just challenging times, keeping in the forefront of my mind, Lord, what am I grateful for? Just keeping my mind stayed with a heart of gratitude is really important because it helps to combat the challenges and be reminded that, even though I may not feel like God's presence right now, or I'm just so overwhelmed with whatever that situation, it reminds that God really is in control. And it also reminds us that, God's faithfulness of yesterday is the same faithfulness of today. And so it's a spiritual discipline. It's a practice. We don't just wake up and say, you know what, I'm just going to be hopeful. You have to actively pursue the things of God, and you have to build it on a practical level. You have to build it into your schedule. You have to, I'm going to wake up and just say, Lord, I thank you just for waking up this morning. I mean, let's just make it really simple. I thank you for, if you're feeling like, you're financially having challenges, I thank you for providing for me all of my basic needs. If you're feeling like, overwhelmed with just trying to balance it all, I thank you for like the resources that you have given me that are in place, so really being specific about keeping those keeping those affirmations in front of you and having a heart of gratitude. I know for me has helped me. It doesn't mean that the situation necessarily is going to change in that moment, but it just really just helps my perspective in my mind. Because, oftentimes when we're going through challenging situations, I don't care how saved you are, you allow that circumstance to take over you at times, whether it be emotionally or just physically. And so you have to really be intentional about incorporating the things of God in a gracious heart to continue to stay vibrant or to have that vitality. And just to remind yourself when you want to forget, I do serve a God that's been faithful to me. And these are the reasons why. And this is how, and even if you didn't do anything else, because God's presence is in my life, that's enough to give God praise. So it's an active reminder of God's faithfulness to us.
Yeah. And I love that gratitude reminds us who God is and what he's capable of doing, which further helps us to trust him. Because I think that when we go through challenges, it's so important to trust God through it and his character. Because sometimes we'll be like, well, is God mad at me? Or is God trying to punish me? Or, has God left me? Has he forsaken me? And we really have to go back to the character and heart of God, and that he doesn't take our pain or our challenges lightly. And that when we keep that in the forefront of our mind, we realize that he's with us in it, and that can help us to have hope, knowing that, listen, we're going through this challenge, but we're not alone. And that's definitely something to be grateful for.
Yeah, I agree, because, I think about the days when I'm complaining more than I'm giving God praise, and just my whole spirit is off, everybody around me, I'm just like, you. Somebody get it today, just because of whatever I may be going through that day. And so, like I said, it has to be an active, intentional thing. And then, sometimes we may not get it right, but you know what? Again, God's mercies are new every morning. And great is thy faithfulness, as Lamentations 3 says. So, it's a continued active decision to incorporate be hopeful and fight for that. Because again, we serve an enemy that would want us to stay in our complaints. That's his job. His job is to try to keep us focused and away from having that grateful heart and continue to be hopeful and have vitality in the midst of challenges. That's his job. His job is to kill, steal, and destroy. But we serve a God who wants us to have life and have it more abundantly. But we can't have life more abundantly if we're not seeking after the things of God. So that's what I would say.